in this house, comparing these to vinyl is a compliment, so thank you, Strauss. And with that in mind, before I get into what I am going to be currently playing and what I will be playing in the future, I'm going to be clarifying my stance on the current debate once again. I am for a hybrid approach, meaning where if digital is the only way I can get something, then that's that. But I do like having like a physical option whenever I can, just as like how with my 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 streams on video and audio being companion to physical albums, movies, and books. So and just to get out of the way, hey, hey, same with the he plan to debut the next preview for the game on Netflix, which will be in between my anime, hey, and other hyperfixations, and I can say that while the release is going to be on one hand, the digital game Grand Theft Auto 6, I can count that one on just the one finger here, and the other releases, when the physical option was being pursued, I'll be going in this order. Metal Gear here, Solid Lakes Master Collection Volume 2, it still really annoyed me that I could not get a physical copy on PS4 Volume 1 on on Marvel Tokon on which is out now. I probably will be getting that after Cyclops goes live, the Phoenix variant. And I'm hoping that Nightcrawler will be among the other mutants and join later in their waves. And Wolverine. And so I've got the first two Spider-Man games physically, and I also intend to get the Miles Morales spin-off that way as well. Well, for my next playthrough at least. And Toy Story way retro roundup, uh, complete with the enhanced version of Toy Story 3. Most of those will be on PS5, with Toy Story being on the Switch family. A hopefully I can't hopefully it'll run pretty well. The third game. I can imagine that like the ones that I played on Sega when I was a kid should be fine. This one's basically on a toaster now. So now I'll let you all know what I want to play. I am going to let you know what I'm currently playing this game vlog for August 2026. Let's begin. So, as I'm going to be out of the house for this blackout out, or at least part of it when it starts later this month. Um, playing, not playing online will not be a problem. Um, and I think my three most played ones are still ones I've been going back to a lot. Spider-Man 2, with the Insomniac games getting across the board boost because of the major smash of Brand New Day. Hey, Grand Theft Auto 5. It's taken so long to get number 6 that it's one of the most obvious ones I've replayed, as well as other legacy ones I have access to. Who and Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, I am getting this close to going for platinum on PS5, as well as clearing the Rise of the Empire campaign. Also doing some Soul Numbers of Galactic Conquest as well. And to be entirely fair, here the games on offer this month are at least decent for the essential tier. Those being like the day one release Big Walk, a a multiplayer a adventure game from House, the folks behind the indie Spanish Entitled Goose game. Sounds very amusing. Fan arts of the goose going after the CFO, at least. Signalis, the which is a retro reimagined and sci-fi horror game, which is actually pretty solid. Main, and and Dying Light 2, who which is actually giving me the enhanced edition. It's one of the few games that I actually did the trial playthrough of a bit ago, where they give you the first hour or two of the game with a demo, which also gets me started on stuff. And they've had a lot of fixes since then, and the launch build wasn't the best, but as a whole, these games are pretty decent. Though I totally get why Techland can the PS1 Xbox One ports of this next game they're doing, The Beast, as well. I also know full well that the ones that give me my account, including what I've got in mind for the premium tier here, are functionally like rentals, only instead of charging you late fees when you don't take them back to the store on time as they used to, there's also, instead, they only let you play them as long as you keep your account active, which is really what the whole debate boils down to. Who like framing that as access over ownership, is definitely another way of looking at this. And now that I've got all this foofara out of the way, with Sony, who is definitely adding more fuel to the fire. Again, a warning label for legalese is not going to be enough to stop up these suits, which is the main reason why I'm not doing like a video on the matter specifically. And on to the Switch family front. Okay, so this month's full game trial on both Switch and Switch 2 is NBA 2K27. I have I'm among the folks who's not the biggest fan of how these titles are monetized, and how some of the more infamous previews and undermine the claims that the My Team system is not gambling, even though one, they had to legally disclose the odds of each pack now, and two, had some ones a while back that had straight up slot machines with relay wheels in them. Basically why they had to re-rate Fighting Olympic Green as E10 for the Game Corner. And the Switch ports had often the usual issues of simply making the teams like a stat roster update and reskin with some pretty iffy looking models that, seriously, I play basketball games on PS2 look better than that, man. And as for actually trying to get on the court, be it on offline, I could not get into it. I don't mean in the sense of that I was not really vibing with the latest changes to the age of the meta. No, I literally could not get into it. I had a bit more success on the Switch 2 ports, where even though I'm still not sure why a sports game needs a cinematic story mode, I kind of get it for the wrestling games, given how the actual party experience, and but at least the presentation and performance were passable. Like, obviously not as good as how it would look on PS5 or Xbox Series, let alone decent high-end PC setups, but also I would say at least in the ballpark of the PS4 Xbox One versions, where there, and had pretty decent luck of the draw with some of these B bowlers as well, where not just as with modern earn athletes like LeBron James, Steph Curry, but also greatest of all time players I grew up with, like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, name a few, who, even though I tend to prefer more arcade style sports games, typically, hey, I do say that Visual Cons are still good at delivering court simulation and whenever they can, and now onto some non-basketball related stuff. Alright, so I am heartily enjoying playing Splatoon Raiders and the bubbly bass expansion of Pokemon Pokopia. I mean, Raiders just put out its first post-launch update, which actually rebalanced once a lot of the enemies and loot, I mean, which is good for some people who are having issues with certain missions, and and also some accessibility options where it can make it so you don't have to hold down the button to upgrade your tank, and if you have trouble with that, you can just tap it, and I'm also still building more habitats and discovering more Pokemon in the Bubbly Basin, which I've taken to calling beautiful old Cerulean Town. I'm not going to say why, but once you play that expansion, you'll know. And I also like the arrangement of the Cerulean City music, man. I mean, it has like a very ambient vibe about it, man. I also though jump back in to Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection and with my Mortal Kombat 2 spoiler review to go live tomorrow. I definitely want to go get both that and this done before I start Spider-Man again, and and also going for 100% completion in Legend ZA. Hey, even if Wonder Voyage is not quite what I was expecting, and I still will maintain that like everything else in Horizon is not bad, just kind of here, and it just doesn't exactly he he speak to me the same way other incarnations do, like how where and I am definitely going after Latios and Latias in the secret pet encounters, and anyone else who wants to trade, help, and we can help each other complete our Pokedexes. Is the my friend codes in my channel info, and Tetris 99 on top of having a second chance in some themes with your winning tickets. A Splatoon Raiders, infinitely enough, is also currently underway. I already got the new theme already. Even some of my competitors are pretty crazy, and I may not be able to who do stuff like in Fortnite where people are simultaneously shooting pop guns, building forts, and vibing while the avatars look like He-Man, Buzz Lightyear, and the K-pop Demon Hunters, among other things. Where, but stacking Tetrominoes I can deal with, and also dip back into some racing cross worlds, getting some practice in, and from the and before Axel from Crazy Taxi goes live. I even opted in to like the World Tour closed beta. If I successfully get that Evite, hey, I'm taking it. And I'm also gonna see what I can do about getting previous titles back again. Like, if Microsoft is serious about wanting to make the bulk of the Xbox library play it, like not just in previous, but it's just as over 25 years of consoles on PCs, then the third game, High Roller, is basically what I would like to see the most in there, like how and I also am not surprised that at one point there's going to be a movie there. Apparently, Sega still wants to make one. On they're actually suggesting it could be like a vehicular heist film, like Bullet, The French Connection, or a lot of the latter Fast and Furious films. Man, no whoops, like doing in a drift through cable cars while trying to take someone into who church or KFC is no more absurd than and and Dwayne the Rock Johnson hurling like a cruise missile back at submarine like it was a toy. And with that in mind, and I will definitely say most making good progress from the Leaf Green. And there's also I'm also keeping Times GameCube Classics. Not only working on more, getting through like the current lineup, but also the last couple titles in the first wave are dropping soon. One in which, as you may already know about, and we'll get to that. And with that, I'm also still keeping tabs on my Little Village Animal Crossing as well as like the new hotel. Hell, not only am I seeing some people who used to live on my island come back through there, even building any rooms for rare ones, but characters that were way back in the GameCube game, and like Billy the goat and Bob the cat. I see what you guys did there on Moise One, are making appearances in there, and the and with that in mind, and I can tell I'm already liking like Cap'n and cucumbers and their family recipe. It only took me until fairly recently to realize he was a kappa, where amphibious creature, her her with that swims like a frog, but has a shell like a turtle and a bill like a duck. That's all for now. I definitely will be prepping more content, and after I see Spider-Man again, and see you all tomorrow with my spoiler review of Mortal Kombat 2. Take care, everyone.